Hello and welcome to this edition of the Inspiring Women series. Our first panelist for the session today is Padma Bhamidipati. Padma is a senior business manager learning based out of Bangalore. She's been with Infosys for 21 years and brings with her a total experience of 24 years. At the Education Training and Assessments Group, she heads education, branding, and learner experience. She also manages sales and pre-sales for Wingspan, the digital platform from Infosys for the learning space. A member of the Executive Governing Council of the ETA team, she focuses on amplifying thought leadership and talent competency. Welcome to the session, Padma.
Thank you, Sushant.
Our second panelist is Shannon Hart, a senior consultant with the Infosys Knowledge Institute. Shannon is based in Cedar Hill, Texas, United States. Shannon comes with over 25 years of experience as an award-winning television journalist and producer. She's also led the marketing team at a craft brewery, focusing on marketing, advertising, social media, and product testing. Since joining Infosys 3 years ago, she has produced numerous industry journals and webinars, helping drive the thought leadership quotient within the organization. She's also served in the United States Army. Welcome, Shannon.
Hi.
Our third and final panelist is Sheethal Kurien. Sheethal is the delivery manager with the SAP practice. She's based in Finland for the past 5 years, but prior to that, she has built her career at Infosys Mangalore. Joining Infosys straight from campus, it's been 24 years of traversing from mainframe development to S/4HANA implementation for Sheethal. During this time, she has also traversed Europe as a continent, beginning with work from the United Kingdom, moving to France, and then moving to Germany, and then finally being based out of Finland. She enjoys reading fiction, running, and traveling. Welcome to the session, Sheethal.
Thanks, Sushant.
Let me begin with you, Padma. Having traversed a career from 3 different industries, right? And if you were to share some advice with women colleagues who are in the early stages of the career, what would that be?
I stumbled into the IT industry and Infosys, courtesy my B school classmate and now ex-Infosian Jayad Nair. The then education and research team was scouting for a brand manager for knowledge management. And he sent my resume across. Literally 9 months later, after the interview, I was born into the Infosys family in March 2001. A couple of things that I've learned along the way, and it would be an absolute privilege to share it with everyone, is the fact that you need to have a healthy curiosity coupled with a genuine enthusiasm. Typically, these look like an individual taking the initiative, being out there, and just wanting to be out there in the action so that you are able to learn with every experience. It helps us test, our strengths, work on our gaps, and most importantly, helps us network, which most of the time seems to be a bit of a taboo, where you get in, you're out there taking an initiative, raising your hand for all of them, makes it important for people to know that you're serious about what you want to do. And all of these also help raise our knowledge levels and demonstrate the fact that you are in it and your candidature is out there to move ahead. So I think that would be something that has helped me early on in my career as well, and continues to help me on a daily basis even today.
Shannon, if I could move to you, an award-winning journalist, a marketing leader, and now a researcher and a facilitator of knowledge from an industry perspective. What's been your career highlights? What are your insights? And if I could ask you to share some thoughts and advice for our women colleagues who are in the managerial stages of their career, we would love to hear from you.
So I will start by saying my career is not traditional. It is not where I started. It is not where I thought I would go. I'll start by saying I am first generation college in my family. So it was a big deal that I went to college. Now, what I wanted to do, I honestly had no idea. There was little guidance. I needed guidance to get through college. So for me, I always went into everything with a mentor or someone who could lead and guide me. When I graduated from college, I literally sent out 100 resumes before I got my first yes to go into television news. And I started in Lynchburg, Virginia. And a few things that I learned along the way. One, be extremely patient. Two, make sure you understand the journey is going to be so different for each person. How one person gets to that spot is not how you may get to that same spot on your journey. So be okay and sit back sometimes and enjoy the journey. When I decided to make the transition out of TV news, it was really hard. I can honestly say I went through I really went through a period of time where I second guessed my decision. I jumped out there and I jumped into a craft brewery. And the funny part was I knew so little about beer, but the person who hired me said, "You're perfect. We need someone who isn't so entrenched in the beer world to look at it from a different angle." Coming to Infosys, I will tell you, in my wildest dreams, I never thought I would work in IT. Again, the journey was not what I anticipated. It's just changing, but for the better. And now I'm able to use all the skills that I learned in television. I'm using all the skills that I learned as a marketing manager to become what we need in a thought leadership team. What I would say to anyone who is going into a management position is, one, keep learning, keep sharing, listen extremely carefully. Always know who you're talking to. Be understanding that everyone is basically the same. We just learn at different levels. Find out what that common thread is, and that's where you start the relationship. Do your homework. Find a mentor. The mentor does not have to be the person that is here on the rung of the ladder or in the business, but the person who is going to guide you. And I've had a lot of guidance. I promise I've had tons of guidance because I'm still on a journey, but I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the ride.
Thank you, Shannon. Sheethal, if I could come to you, but you've also done geo and you've done the entire IT spectrum from mainframe development. You've seen the .com boom and bust, and then you've moved into the ERP practice. What's been that journey like?
So I started with Infosys in '98, straight from campus. So I'm born and brought up in Infosys that way from my career perspective. Then in '99, I moved to ES, or the erstwhile SBU 9, when it was formed in 1999. I have been part of the SAP practice from then onwards. At that time, SAP was new even in India. And my team and I developed the first training course in ABAP, purely from our project experience alone. And then this was passed on to the Enterprise Service Academy when the ESA was formed in Infosys. My first on-site stint was for Apple in Cupertino in 2000. And after that, I had experience working in different countries, in Germany, in UK, France, and Finland, doing the first SAP rollout for Infosys, the first SAP implementation program. And then I was also part of the team that first went to Anchorage, Alaska. I have been lucky to work in different places, different teams, different locations. What I have seen over the years is the IT industry is a rapidly changing industry, and the technology keeps changing. Now there is smartphone, mobiles, digital technology available to everyone, and the focus of organizations have changed to sustainability and a carbon neutral approach. So what we are saying is, one, rapidly changing environment, IT and an industry. Two, we are working in a more and more diverse environment. Three, the working conditions itself are changing. 2 years back, we were working in a 100% office environment. Then it changed to 100% remote, and now we have moved on to a hybrid model. When it comes to, my advice to managers and other leaders would be, as again Padma and Shannon said, never stop learning. Be a voracious reader. Second, be ready for change and be ready to move out of your comfort zone, whether be it work location, be it new technology, or working with new teams. Third, even as you grow in your career, be ready to dive into the details wherever it is required.
Thank you very much, Sheethal, for that. Let's then move on to our next section, which is to focus on, while you've had great career, I'm sure there have not been a lot of challenges. Let's delve and try and understand how you navigated those challenges into the next section. So, Padma, across a storied career, I'm sure there have been challenges as well. How did you navigate these challenges? What were those challenges? Do you still find them in the workplaces of today?
So Sushant, I personally think that I've always been the poster child for imposter syndrome. You see, in the professional space, on many occasions, I have personally felt that I have walked in, both literally and figuratively, into a room full of doubters because of gender, and because of their lack of information about my prior work. And I'm sure there are a lot of my colleagues and friends who feel the same. Now, traditionally this can be a dampener because that's really going to set you back. It's really going to kill your morale even before you have started working with the team or on the project. But somewhere, I have always felt that this has given me that adrenaline shot. It has helped me say, I want to prove you wrong. Again, not with a vengeance, but just say, look, let's get this all out there and help you know me better. And I think continuously working on what you're good at, understanding what people are thinking about you, helps you break that myth day after day. And you continue to do it till your name resounds confidence. And I think that is extremely important. So for me, that has been a journey. There's no shame talking about it. There's no shame asking for advice from people who have been there and done that, because nearly everyone goes through it. But what has always helped me and continues to do so even today is to go prepared. Go prepared for the assignment, go prepared to know who are the people that you're working with, to know what is the outcome, anything, whether it's an internal or an external conversation. And all of this helps you over a period of time start understanding the nuances of these conversations and how you can really get to the outcome that everyone collectively believes in. And also, at the end of it, it is also important in terms of projecting gravitas. Now, I had never thought about it earlier on in my life, but I think today I would really place a fair amount of bets in terms of how do you project yourself and therefore ensure that you are also being seen as a well-grounded professional.
Thank you for sharing that. Shannon, if I could ask for your insights and your advice as you navigated various challenges.
And the whole time Padma was speaking, I was doing this because I understand exactly what she was talking about. When she said imposter syndrome, I understand that so well. I have led that life my entire career, mainly because I didn't know what to do. So I had to walk into a space. I didn't know how to act, what to say, what to do. And I had mentors that helped me. But when I was in that space live, I had to do it all by myself. And so I would go in and I would behave the way I would see the other reporters and anchors behaving, because I just didn't know what was going on. But as time has gone on, the one thing that I always say is keep learning. I would learn and learn and learn. And one of the biggest challenges that I can honestly say that I have faced with that imposter syndrome is, to be 100% honest, is being a Black woman in America and trying to lead and trying to strike the right balance is very difficult. I can smile, I can make it seem easy, but it is not. It does take a toll on you mentally and sometimes physically, but I refuse to give up. I refuse to let the naysayers win. There are those who are going to say they're not going to believe you can do the job, but I refuse to allow them to win. It's a skill I learned in television news. A smile goes a long way. It may not be that smile that I'm going to say all the things that you want me to say, but I start with a smile. And that's part of that imposter syndrome, because sometimes I don't want to smile at these people. I have smiled at people who have literally stopped short, or they have called me the N word. They have called me words and names that I can't even repeat. However, my smile means I see you, I hear you. It doesn't affect my life in any negative way. And so as I continue to navigate this career, I also have to understand I'm coming into a space where people assume I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't understand what they're saying to me. But what I do, a couple of things is, one, I make sure that I am open to hearing what they say. And then when I repeat to them what they just said to me, it is a bit of a shocker for them. But what I'm trying to make them understand is I learn very quickly. So sometimes that support system is not just the people who are coming into my life, my mentors, my family, but sometimes I'm being that support system. And it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that once you set out on that journey, you can do it. But you have to surround yourself with people who are going to remind you can do it. And like Padma saying, you need that family, you need that village, as we call it. That's how you're just going to trudge through the challenges. Because what I always like to say is the no is so much closer to yes. That means you're about to get closer to that yes. So don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions, listen, learn, keep learning, keep sharing what you do. I mean, I think it goes back to all parts of your life.
Thank you. Thank you for both the candor and the honesty as you shared this very authentically. Thank you, Shannon. You know the question. If I could request you to add to this in terms of what's worked for you that you'd like to share with our audience.
I consider 3 sets of people as my key stakeholders. One is the client, one is my team, and one is my leaders or managers. I've had challenges from all these 3 groups, but I consider a challenge as an adventure. That makes things quite easy. I told you earlier that I've worked in Alaska, so my manager recommended my name even before consulting with me, but it has turned out to be one of the best professional and personal experience of my life. Then, when you deal with challenge, it can be stressful sometimes, but the best learnings also come from the challenges that you have faced. Infosys has lost an account when I was leading it. There were multiple reasons. But it has helped me to learn a lot of things and apply it in my current set of activities and career as well. When it comes to challenges in the workplace, the social aspects reflects in our organizations as well. It is very well reflected in the number of women that we have in leadership role. And this is a global problem. We see that in other organizations globally as well. Again, then there is this perception that diversity is more focused towards women. And this is a perception that we have to change at all levels. Men should be made aware that they have a role to mentor the women in their team, and then promote them for their capability, for what you have made them capable of. And so that you're not promoting them just because they are women, but because they are capable and because they deserve to be promoted.
You've spoken about how you've navigated challenges and your insights from this, which takes us to the next section, which is around development. Shannon, you spoke about the importance of mentoring multiple times, and therefore I do want to ask you the question of men and women are extremely important as allies in the development journey, and what's been your experience with that?
I think you have to have a combination of men and women as your allies. And I think in order to get more than just women rallying for women, you also have to bring men along who are in those positions. My first mentor was a man who was in a huge leadership role. And he started helping me simply because I wrote him a thank you note. He is still a mentor, a good friend. He guides me, especially now that I'm more in a corporate situation, because he's worked in that space before. But I also need women to help me in that space too, because sometimes they can see things about me that I can't see. I am very direct sometimes. Not everybody is ready for that. And I need a voice to come over and say, I see what you're doing. I understand. It makes sense. I would love it if someone was like that with me. We need allies in every space. We need all of these leaders. They are significant in everything that we do. We need women who are in those, higher up positions to help guide the rest of us. We need the Padmas because they have been there and they know so much. But we also need the men in those positions to also come in, because that's the only way you can grow. You need different people for different stages. I have friends that work in corporate. They do something totally different, but they are amazing allies for me because they help to guide me. And that's what we need. And we need that diversity in everything that we do. So with me, with my experience, I am looking for people to help me. I am looking to help other people.
Sheethal, Padma, so let me begin with you, Padma. 21 years. How has the organization?
This organization has been the proverbial parent who selflessly invests in their ward. And I have, very graciously accepted it for the 21 plus years. Infosys has been extremely patient with me. It's allowed me to find my interest areas. It's watched me while I have failed and, stood in the wings to pick me up again. And I must say, it has always emptied me out of my comfort zone every single time. My managers have been hyper perceptive about me and given initiatives, responsibilities, and learning opportunities that I would have never ever dared to raise my hand voluntarily or otherwise. Before I go further, I must also talk about the shared sisterhood that we just heard from Shannon as well, which is, I think, such a lovely part of this entire organization and its culture. And to my absolutely amazing managers, who at that point in time I had that little bit of a issue with them, saying, why me? Why they pushed me to traveling? They made me travel solo. They gave me experiences that now I am so much richer with. They put me in front of delegations, they put me in front of clients, and made sure that I was really out there talking and improving myself. For a very reluctant speaker and someone who had an issue of stammering as well, you had people who were there, who were watching over you, who were making sure that you really moved ahead. I must say that this had a very healthy share of gentlemen as managers, women as managers. So a lot of them literally came together to take it further. And my experiences, what I take away from here, apart from what I get to narrate to my teams, to my colleagues, family members, I also have some very, very amazing memories from here.
Really nice to hear you speak as to what the organization has supported you with, Padma. Sheethal, 24 years straight from campus, the only job. How has the organization helped you in your development?
Absolutely wonderful journey. I mean, as I keep repeating, it's straight from campus, and Infosys introduced me to the corporate world and helped me navigate it. And I had a lot of learning opportunities that were given across this last 24 years, and learning opportunities. And as I said, to travel widely across different countries, experiences with some of the marquee clients, the leading clients across different industries. I had some exceptional managers across over the years. Not all experience have been good, but some of them have been exceptional. And they have recommended me for roles that are challenging, put my name forward and said that, okay, this person can do it. And that has helped me a lot. So truly exceptional journey, and I have to be thankful to Infosys for that. Last 25 years.
Now, you've spoken about your careers, your challenges, and how you do your development. Now, I want you to distill it all down to a single word or a single sentence and help me with the rapid fire. What, according to you, is the most underrated leadership skill?
Gratitude.
One must-have habit for effective time management.
No procrastination.
You deal with disappointment by?
Hunting for a bar of dark chocolate and peppy music.
Shannon, I'm going to get the same questions according, for you. So what, according to you, is the most underrated leadership skill?
Empathy.
And one must have a habit for effective time management.
Creating list for your day.
You deal with disappointment by?
I cry in the shower and then I come up with a plan to get the yes the next time.
Sheethal, what, according to you, is the most underrated leadership skill?
Silence.
Right?
Learn when
One
to
must
talk.
have.
Learn when to talk and learn when to be quiet.
One must have habit for effective time management.
Prioritization.
You deal with disappointment by?
Learning from it and moving on.
If you had to share with our audience, you put all your life's learning and you're given that one brief opportunity to share with the world what your success mantra would be. And that's going to define the success of the future generation. What would you tell them?
I think it's always about building your credibility every single day. Also, in the same space, it is also about being open to criticism, because you literally get a free masterclass to know where your headroom for improvement is, and having fun.
A no is always one step closer to a yes. So never, never, never give up.
Get out of your comfort zone and try out new things.
Thank you very much. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting the three of you. Thank you for the authenticity. Thank you for your candor. Thank you for bringing your personal stories and really, enlightening us with so much of your wisdom. Thank you, and wish you all the very best as you continue your careers.